Hello, welcome to a 30-minute Wunda Chair workout that's going to work your entire body out and sure to be a fun workout for you along the way. Plus, it's got a little cardio hit at the end, which is really exciting because don't you want to do some strength, stretch, and cardio at the same time? I know I do, so let's get started.
Welcome to OnlinePilatesClasses.com, the most supportive Pilates-loving community across the globe. Enjoy new weekly classes from our amazing teachers. Download the OnlinePilatesClasses.com app today.
Hello, I'm Lesley Logan, the co-founder of OnlinePilatesClasses.com. I've been teaching Pilates since 2008, and one of my teachers was taught by Joseph Pilates. So everything we're going to do here on this chair is something that you would have found in Joseph Pilates' studio. It's really a lot of fun. As we know, there's actually no order on the Wunda Chair. So you can really create the chair, work out to what you need. Also, it wasn't where you would just go do a chair class. I'll be really honest, but we're going to do that today because that's what we do now. But it's going to be full body, and all of these exercises should help assist you on your mat and reformer practice. So make sure that you are checking out your mat and reformer practice after you do a Wunda Chair workout, because it's really cool how all of these things work together. And if you're wondering how the Wunda Chair can help out your mat practice, you can put a question in the comments below. I'll happily answer them. Now, we're gonna get started really quickly, but first you need to know this. When in doubt, leave it out, okay? It's brave and courageous to play something that I'm doing with something you can do. You can always repeat more reps of something that we're doing if we go into an exercise that's more complicated for you today or where your practice isn't at today. I'm working with a chair, it's a Contrology chair that has 3 hook levels, 2 spring settings, right? So I've got 2 springs, 3 hook levels. So I'm gonna work off of things like high, top, bottom, 1 middle, but please feel free to work with yours. If you're working with an exo chair that's got 4 hooks or any kind of chair that's got 4 hooks, try the bottom 3, and then if you need more assistance, hit the 4th, okay? There's no problems there. Let's do with one top, 1 bottom, so a heavy spring setting. We're gonna start here, having a seat for some footwork, getting into our body. Sit close to the edge. You don't want to sit too far back, and ideally you might want to even sit on a sticky. You don't want the pedal to push you away, all right? Arms can be layered or behind your head or by your sides. And you're gonna do 10 on the toes with the heels together. I love to put my head and my hands into each other like this because especially in a warm-up, it really helps me engage my upper back without getting my chest involved. So after 10 of these, come on to your arches, legs together if you can. If you can't, you can always put a block between those legs, and down and up. Now, it's not actually important how low you go with the pedal, it's how high you can come without you moving forward and back, right? So your pelvis isn't tucking or tilting, lifting your hip points up to those low ribs. And then onto your heels. Woo, glute burn there. Dig those heels down, hug those legs together, push your head into your hands and your hands into your head. If you're using your hands behind model. If you're doing arms like this, you can press them together, and if they're hugging the chair, they are hugging the chair. So you should feel all of this turning on. Now go back to the foot setting. That was a challenge for you. For me, it's the arches, and then stay on one leg, send the other leg out and pump 5 times. A little zest there, and then switch. Woo, awesome. Okay, step off, turn to face the chair. Take your hands on the back of the chair as wide as the corners will let you go. Place your feet onto the pedal, heels together, toes apart, shoulders over the wrists, lower the heels down and lift the heels up. So we're not doing the pull-up yet. We are doing something called a tendon stretch. There's many tendon stretches on the chair, and you're seeing if you can lower your heels while keeping them together without your shoulders drifting back beyond your wrist, right? And then you're lifting your heels as high as you can without moving your shoulders in front of your wrists. 3 more. 2 and 1. Hold it up on the 1. You can repeat that, or with your head down and your shoulders over your wrist, pull the chair wide with your arms and then float the pedal up. And then lower the pedal almost all the way down and then float it up. So some pull-ups here. We're gonna do 4. Last one. Can you soften your elbows and lift your ribs a little bit more? Lower the pedal down. Take 1 foot to the floor. Whew, other foot stays on the pedal. And then if you need to reset your feet, you can. Don't worry if the transition wasn't perfect. But you want to be about a half distance of your own foot away from the chair. Ball of the foot stays on the pedal. Hands behind your head. Push the pedal down and up with the heel up 5 times. If you don't like the hands behind your head, they can be here. You can be holding a gondola pole for balance, okay? But you want shoulders over hip, over heel, and then this heel is nice and high. And on the 5th one, we hold the pedal down. You use your heel to lower the pedal, woo, and then you lift it up. If you lose your balance, it's okay. It's just as information. It's like, oh, I was leaning too far. So it's not about the knee straightening. I'm just using some ankle mobility here. And then one more, lift the pedal up. We're gonna repeat on the other side. So here we go. Foot on the pedal, push it down and up with the heel up 5 times, and then 5 heel, lower and lift. So at onlinepilatesclasses.com, I actually have a membership that has a chair workout, and every single month we have a new 50-minute, so 50-minute workout on the chair, and it goes with the mat, reformer, and tower workout. Hold the pedal down, lower the heel and lift. So you can see how all these exercises work on a theme together. It's really fun for nerding out. Last 2. And if you want, I can look at your form. So you can send a video of you doing an next exercise. Going, am I doing this right? And I can give you feedback. Lift that heel up, lift the pedal back up. So get your feet set up again. We're gonna go back to the pull-up, but this time we're gonna do single leg, okay? If the first version was difficult for you, keep both feet on. So press the pedal down, hands on the chair, slide them back to the back edge, heels together, toes apart, shoulders over the wrists. And if you're taking one foot off, it just goes off the pedal behind you, not high, it stays very low. And we lift the pedal. Ooh, I wanted to lean too far forward, so I have to lift my ribs a bit more and drop my head. 3 of these. And switch. If you're like, Lesley, I can't get the pedal up without hopping, you need a different spring setting. So I'm on 1 and a 3, a top and a bottom. If you need, go to a 1 and a 4 if you have a 4th hook, or if you don't, go to a 2 and a 3. If you're on the shorter side, use a yoga block underneath your pedal. I have a whole video on how to make the pull-ups more accessible here on this channel. Check it out. Okay. So, stepping off the chair, heels together, toes apart, turn to the side. So I have my left side facing the pedal. I'm going to take that foot up onto the pedal, press down side. And I'm going to pull the pedal down, and it's going to want to tip your pelvis up. So you've got to hold your pelvis square, which means I can only lift the pedal as high as I can do that. And remember the goal we talked about in footwork? How high can we get the pedal, not how low. So can we pick this pedal up and keep our hips square? One more. Lift the pedal all the way up. Before we turn around to the other side, we'll do our crossover. So step your inside foot back. Make sure it's not hugging the chair. You want it to be a little bit away. And then cross your other foot over. You may start off like this. That's okay. Push the pedal down. Square your hips off. Hug this hip over your heel. And then pull the pedal down and up. Shoulders wide on your back, over your hip, over your heel. Whew. 2 more. Awesome. All right, now we're going to turn around and do the other side. So heels together, toes apart, and push the pedal down, and here we go. You do not have to close the spring yet. Also, it depends on your height of your own hips and the chair you're working with. Everyone has different chairs. There's lots of different models out there. So it's even with my model in getting my pedal all the way closed, it's a challenge for me, and I have really long legs, right? One more. And then parallel your feet off on the floor, then cross one foot over, and then pull it up. My chair is a Contrology chair, if you're wondering. It is, I do have a link below that can get you a little discount on all Contrology and Balanced Body equipment. It's made by Balanced Body, and I just freaking love the springs. They make you work. You feel your center right away. Let's do one more. Awesome. Okay. Now, we're going to come onto our chair. You can lie on the longer side. That's going to be easier. Harder is going to be the shorter side. I'm going to do the shorter side today with you, just in case anyone wants to have a buddy. Take your legs out. Let's do the 100. So you're squeezing your legs and you're reaching them like you reached into the pedal for your pull-up. And then the curl of your chest is the same curl you had for your pull-up. So how nice is that? We have our inner thighs nice and warmed up from the pedal, and we also worked our outer hips. So our legs hugging together and reaching for our center should be so nice. Pumping those arms for another 5 cycles of breathing. If you start to feel this in your neck, you're leaning too much or you're crunching your neck too much, you can always do it on the floor instead. Last one. And all the way up. Whew. Awesome. Okay, stay on the spring setting. You can make it heavier if you need or lighter. That's what's so fun about the Wunda Chair. Table. So hands go to the back, wide on the corners, elbows softer than you think, and then you try to leave the pedal up as you lift your hips up and forward. And then you pull the pedal down and up, really working the up, right? And for 5, and you take a moment. Whew. If you're like, are you kidding? Then by all means, change your spring. So instead of a 1-3, maybe it's a 1-4 or it's a 2-3, right? Just be careful when you're getting on and off the pedal because it's got a lot of power. Here we go. Last set. We're just doing 5 more, working that up. I promised you a little cardio. There's something about doing 5 reps at the table that will get that heart rate up. Okay, now take the pedal to the floor. Same foot position. You're going to come down off the front of the chair. The hands are at the front of the chair for a frog facing out. So it is tempting to make this all an arm exercise. Remember, it's a full body exercise. It's easy for me to sit on my heels, so I'm actually going to press into my legs a little bit and get my hips off my heels, so I'm working the back of my legs, and then I have to push my arms towards straight and pull the pedal with me. You bend your elbows and you straighten. 3 of these. Stay up there and then push the pedal away. So this will help your high frogs on your reformer. Hello, how fun is that? Let's do another set of 3 arms and 3 legs. If you're like, Lesley, I'm really short, I'm very fun size, put the yoga block onto the pedal. Let the floor come a little higher to meet you where you are. Last time up, push the pedal 3 times. Whew. Have a seat. Well, I felt that. Okay, let's go to 1 middle spring. So a 2, it could also be a 3. So it depends on where you are in your practice. You may want to have a little bit more support, right? We're gonna lie on one side for a little side sit-ups. So you want your hand that's on the pedal, on the center of the pedal, soft elbow, shoulder over wrist, legs together. It's tempting to lean back like this. It's going to mean your hip flexors are working. So get on that hip. If it doesn't feel good, squeeze your glutes. You just need our muscle on, right? And then we're gonna slide up and down 5 times. Squeezing those legs nice and tight together. Awesome. Now, this next part, if you have anything with your back you might not love, you might need more warm up. We're going to twist towards the floor. So my left hand's going to come to the pedal. Only my fingertips really can reach. My right hand moves to the right side, and then I'm turning my chest. Want my hips to stay stacked, okay? So legs stay squeezing together, hips are stacked, and with each lift of the pedal, I'm trying to pull my heart forward. If you're like, Lesley, I know this with split legs. Yes, you can take the top leg back, bottom leg forward, and do the exact same thing. It gives a nice stretch of the psoas. Woo. And if you're like, Lesley, my hand barely touches, so did mine. We are human beings, my loves. That's what I love to remind my OPC members about. We are human beings. We are allowed to be imperfect. Here we go, legs together, just some side sit-ups. We're allowed to be imperfect. We're allowed to be in process. We're allowed to be different every single day in our practice. There was for a while, like I could almost get both hands all on this pedal with completely squared off shoulders and hips. And you want to know what? I got stronger. And the stronger I got, I lost some flexibility. Split the legs if you do it on the first side. 3 more. And so it's okay. It's called balance, guys. It's not perfect. It's not easy to attain, but I don't need to be so flexible. I lost my strength, right? All right, now you're gonna sit for teaser, the very front edge. Please don't sit back here, sit the front edge here. All right, if you are a little afraid of falling backwards, I want your legs on a wall, on a fitness ball, on a table, something, okay? Otherwise, you're gonna find your teaser, toes in line with the eyes. See how tall my legs want to be? Get your toes in line with your eyes. Hands go to the pedal. Then your toes stay in line with your eyes. Otherwise, you're going to have too much weight on the pedal. Pull the waist back and round up. And pull the waist back and round up. And pull the waist back and round up. Reach your arms forward. Rest. Sometimes I have to stand up to rest. Whew. We need to do 2 more sets of that, okay? If you needed something to support your legs, please do. We roll back from our stomach, not our arms, okay? So let's talk about through together. So toes in line with eyes, hands back. So it's easy for me to lean my chest back. Instead, keep your collarbones open, pull your waist back, and lift your chest up. Pull your waist back. Try to leave your waist on the top of the chair as you round up. Reach those arms forward, lower the feet. Third set, we're gonna add the pumps at the bottom, okay? So toes in line with your eyes, hands back, pull the lower back to the chair, lower and lift your chair 3 times. On the third one, stay down, hold it, bend those elbows like you did frog facing out. And lift. Woo, I promise you, that's gonna make for some fun hip circles on the mat sooner. All right, stand on this spring, lie on your stomach, hands on the chair, on the pedal, and legs squeezing together. Try to just notice if you're like letting your lower back hang into gravity. You wanna lift it up, and then you're gonna bend your elbows without changing your torso, 3 pumps. And then lift your chest. And then bend your elbows 3 times. And lift your chest. Last set, 3 pumps here. This will really make for really good push-ups someday. And lift your chest. If you want to go into another version, you're gonna come with me. If you wanna stick with what you just did, do another couple sets. You're gonna keep your chest up, arms straight. Lift your legs, and that will lower your chest. Lift your chest, your legs will lower. And it's okay if your pedal did what mine just did, which is like hit the ground, as long as you don't let the weight slide you on your chair. Which means like, I didn't just let my legs like come into me, right? You're always lifting your chest, you're lifting your legs. It's like a ship on the water. Fun, yeah? Okay, let's do some counter stretch. So stand in the back of your chair, heels to the other toes apart, arms up, round forward, same spring. Push the pedal down with the hips over your feet, and then lift the pedal up. So it's like those pull-ups we did at the beginning. One more. Lift your both arms simultaneously. That lift, that's lifting the pedal up, you're gonna need for where we're going for a little cardio zest ending. So you wanna be able to make sure that's coming from here and not your shoulders. Let's do it again. Arms up, round, press the pedal down, lift your ribs to lift the pedal. Push the pedal down, lift your ribs. Push it down, lift your ribs. One more time. And lift you. Amazing. Okay. Now let's go back to 1 top, 1 bottom spring. Awesome. Okay. We're going to do some going up front. If you want to push your chair up to a wall for just a little bit of like, please balance, please do. Okay. Especially if you're new to this. So you'll take 1 foot to the pedal. If you are brand new, hands to the chair. More advanced, you push into this pedal, you lift up into your center, step the foot on top. That was really loud. It should actually be really quiet. So your goal, and what Joseph Pilates would have you do, is like just step up, even quieter, right? So you can even just practice this. That's almost there. It's almost quieter. And up, right? So I'll keep working on it too. Hands behind your head, or they can reach up, and you'll squeeze your legs towards each other to lift the pedal. and then you'll push down. So what we're not doing is leaning the weight onto our top leg. We want half the weight of our body in the pedal leg, half the weight on the chair. After 5, come all the way down. If you're new, hands to the chair, step down, okay? If you're not, you try to step off with control and control the pedal up. Okay, other side, foot down. So let's see, can we step up quietly? Oh, better, better. All right, hands behind the head, stand into both legs, and pick this pedal up and down. After 5, step down, lift the pedal. Okay, before we go into our side, going up side, which we will be doing today, remember you can always go back to press down side. That's an option. We are going to take the inside foot onto the pedal, hands on the chair. See how my hands are on the front to back in line with each other, and outside foot crosses over. So this is really good for those of you working on snake on the reformer. Drop your tailbone, drop your head. Without leaning to the chair, lift the hips up. This knee that is turning out is not turning out from my foot, it's turning out from my hip. And if you want to take the leg out, 3 times you can. Amazing. Step to the floor, lift the pedal up. All right, inside foot goes on the pedal. Hands go to the corners in line with each other. Cross that outside foot. Remember the turnout is in the outer hips. Shoulders over the wrists and lift. After 3 with 2 legs, you take the leg out and you do 3. I promise you that'll teach you something. Okay, so if you are new to going upside, again, a wall is great. Hands come to the chair, feet on the pedal. You turn on the pedal. Okay, foot goes up. I also will show a more advanced way, which I, by the way, did put all these transitions and setups in the chairs deck on my flashcards. So you're gonna push the pedal down, nook mom, no hands, and up, just like we just did. Now, here's the deal. You don't get to lean. I know you want to. We're not gonna lean in here. We gotta levitate. Arm over arm, hand behind the head, squeeze your legs together and levitate up and down. 5 of these. Is your butt sticking out behind you? Whew. All right, foot goes down. Hands on, turn to face the chair, switch sides if you're new, or take your foot behind you to the floor, press down, crossover, right? All right, here we go. So choose the setup that is working for you. So if it's the crossover, you push down with the outside foot, you lift up in your center, your foot comes onto the chair in a turnout, arms in front of you, hands behind you. We're not leaning because we're strong, and we're levitating up and down. By the way, it can take years to levitate. So please be kind to yourself. If you're here going, I'm squeezing, I'm squeezing, I'm squeezing. That's all that's happening. That's really great strength. I promise you it will pay off in dividends. Okay, so now let's turn around on our chair for a little tendon stretch. Arches of your feet on the pedal. I told you there's a lot of tendon stretches. So we're doing 2 more before our cardio zest ending. So hands are on the front of the chair. Arches of the feet are on the pedal. Head hangs. Lift your ribs. And lift your ribs. And the pedal lifts because your ribs are lifting. My head is dropping down. I'm looking between my thighs. I'm squeezing them tight together. Woo! Yes, there are single leg variations, but those are my longer workouts over on onlinepilatesclasses.com. So Achilles tendon stretch. Hands make a diamond shape on the front of your chair. Heels to the other, toes apart on the floor. Take the foot up onto the pedal and then knee onto the chair. Your diamond shape holds the knee in place as you point and flex. Now we're working the round shape I want you to have for your mountain climber that's coming up. Also, this leg is reaching into the floor, just like it'll be reaching into the pedal in a moment. So it's a really good prep for a mountain climber. Lift the pedal up, Feet together, switch sides, push the pedal down, knee in, point and flex, and point and flex. Awesome. Okay, so that cardio moment. Ready? Hands to the chair, press the pedal down. Start with your feet on the pedal heel, so the other toes apart. Step one foot onto the chair. Make sure it's not on a tightrope, okay? You can be slightly turned out if you want, or parallel. My newbies, you're gonna stay here the whole time with your fingertips like this on the chair, rounding your back, pumping the pedal. Those of you who can take your hands off, your arms are gonna reach past the chair. Stand on this chair leg. It stays at a 90-degree angle. My spine is rounding over it, just like I did for those push downs from the back. Pump the pedal 6 times back here. And then if you're rising up, you get 6 pumps to lift your waist, to lift your chest. My thighs still parallel to the floor. Chest is now up in a nice tall back. 5 pumps up here. And then 5 pumps to come down. By the way, the goal is 8. Yes, 8 up on the down, 8 to come up, 8 to hold, and 8 to come back down. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Ready? Switch legs. Hands stay here the whole time, or they reach past the chair. Pick the pedal up to start. Then you go 5 times. And then you lift your waist up, and you pump for 5 times to get up there. Then you get up there and you hold it for 5 of these pumps. And then you pump down 5 times. Hello. Wow. Heels to the toes apart, hands where they were at the beginning of. Let's just see how easy it is to do our pull-ups now. Lift your ribs, stand on those legs. 1. Could you close the spring without leaning past your wrists? 2. 3. Step 1 foot to the floor, lift the pedal up before your hands come off. Awesome. Okay. Cardio continues. Easier, long side, harder top. Lie on your back. 1 knee in, 1 leg out. No break, ab series. Obviously, you can take a break if you need it. After 3 single leg stretches, double leg stretch. Heels together, toes apart. Circle the arms around. We're just going to keep this heart rate up. Single straight leg stretch. Pull, pull, switch. Straight leg, grab it as high as you can. Hands behind your head, lower and lift. By the way, every single exercise we did today has a free tutorial on this channel. So first of all, make sure you subscribe, but then check them all out. Crisscross 3 times. Amazing. All right, let's bring that heart rate down. Go to 1 middle spring. And stand one of your, almost your foot distance away, arms up and round forward. Push the pedal down. Hold the pedal as far down as you can with your legs straight, hips over your heels, pump 3 times. Let that heart rate come down. Then lift the ribs, let the head hang. Push the pedal down, pump 3 times. If you really enjoyed playing on the Wunda Chair with me, I think you'll love playing on the mat and the reformer and other things you have access to. If you go to onlinepilatesclasses.com, 3 more pumps. /YouTube, so onlinepilatesclasses.com/YouTube, lift the pedal up, push it back down, last set. You can do a trial with us. Pump that pedal, lift it up, lift your hands up. You can do a trial with us and see what it's like to have accountability, see what it's like to have classes that are themed together, no ads, see what it's like to have community where actually people like you are sharing their aha moments, their questions, their wins, their struggles, helping each other out, but also the teachers and myself are literally there to provide feedback on your form. I can actually personalize the sessions to you and your equipment. So you can literally say, this is a chair I have. What do I do when I take a chair class? And I can go, here's what you do. Something I can't do here on YouTube. So first of all, thank you for supporting me here. It means the world to me to make Pilates accessible. But if you're wanting a little bit more, go to onlinepilatesclass.com/YouTube. You'll meet all of our amazing teachers who are all fully certified with decades of experience combined, like decades, like 70, and have options for all different body types, sizes, needs, goals, all of it. where you actually can be in a place where it's not about being all or nothing, but doing the best you can. Thank you so much for letting me teach you today. If you have questions, put in the comments below. I answer YouTube comments every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time in my live. I can't wait to answer yours. And if you're an OPC member, I answer yours every day inside our members only community. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.